Welcome to the next round of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Generation Next tournament here on the HomeBoiz channel. Today we're going to have Dr. Valley and Crowler going up against the Supreme King. Dr. Crowler didn't duel too often, but he was supposed to be a very elite duelist since he was a professor at the academy, and he played this Ancient Gear deck. And Ancient Gears are crazy. They're, to this day, a one-of-a-kind deck because when an Ancient Gear monster attacks, your opponent can't use any spells or trap cards. So they're not able to use things like Wabaku to save themselves or Mirror Force to try to clear your field and gives themselves a chance to really try to come back. They just have to kind of let you swing on them as much as you want. And the big downside though is this is an anime deck. So this deck is incredibly inconsistent, and especially because like Ancient Gears didn't get any good support until years and years after the GX show actually was already finished. So even in the GX era, when people played Ancient Gears, they were mixing it with other machine stuff to make them more playable than they are. Crowler didn't really do that. So he has a 1300 attack monster and an 1800 that doesn't have an effect unless you play it a second time. And he has 7 goddamn tributes in his deck. So Ancient Gear Golem is his ace monster, and it can do piercing damage, and it has 3000. That's about it. And then, you know, the effect of no spells and traps, but whatever. He has Ancient Gear Castle, which, if he can draw one of these 3 out of a 42 card deck, then that'll help him a lot, because all of his Ancient Gears get 300 points. Every time any player summons a monster, like normal summons or sets, it'll get a counter. You can tribute the Ancient Gear Castle with the counters on it, and those counters count as how many tributes you need. So, you know, you could use that to summon one of your 7 goddamn tribute monsters. His trap lineup is incredibly underwhelming. I can't even really, it's not even really worth going over the anime cards. Like, I mean, really, this is it. Unfinished Time Box. If they kill your monster in battle, then you get to remove from play that monster, and you get a draw. But if they like destroy this trap card, they get their monster back. So it's interesting. That's really his best trap card. The only other spell here worth mentioning is probably Ancient Gear Fist. If your monster fights another monster and theirs don't die, then Ancient Gear Fist blows them up. Yeah, I mean, that's the entire main deck. This deck really sucks, man. The fusion deck is a lot better. So you have Howitzer, which is any 2 monsters in your deck, and once per turn you can do 1000 damage for every spell card that you control. So you have 3 equip spells right here, and you have 3 continuous spell cards. So, you know, you could really do up to 5000 points of damage, which would be really, really great. Ultimate Ancient Gear Golem, though, is the ideal fusion monster since it doesn't have a terrible stat line. With Ultimate Ancient Gear Golem, you make it with the Ancient Gear Golem plus any 2 monsters in your deck. It has 4400, the Ancient Gear effect, and it can do piercing. And if you destroy it, you summon the original Ancient Gear Golem from your graveyard, even though he's not allowed to be special summoned. So, realistically, this is Crowler's best move. The side deck gets a lot better, so after round 1, he has a chance to actually win a duel for himself. Here's another Ancient Gear Golem, because why not? It's a retrain of the original. Its effect is terrible. You'll probably never see it happen, even if he draws this 1 copy out of 42 cards. Another 1800, because he desperately needs it. This is the star here. The Ancient Gear frame, not only does it have a reasonable stat line, right, but it can go ahead and search the majority of your deck if you throw away a card, and you can do that during every one of your turns. Then if they destroy him by a card effect, you can summon a bunch of big monsters out of your hand. So that's really cool. Ancient Gear Fusion lets you fuse using your deck, so if he could draw that, that'd be amazing. Cross Dimension Duel is really dope. So you'll banish your monster until the next turn after you activate this trap, and it comes back with double the attack that it had when it left. So that's amazing because you can combo it with limited removal. So let's say my 1600 goes up to 32, but oh no, it's going to be destroyed during the end of the turn. Well, I banish it, it'll come back and it'll have 64 and it'll just live there forever. So that's really dope. And the last card to really mention is this other fusion, the Ancient Gear Megaton Golem, which is any Ancient Gear monsters that you want. There has to be 3 of them. 3,300, and if you fusion summon it with Ancient Gear Golem or with Ultimate Pound, he can get extra attacks. If you kill him, he'll summon this fusion. So you have that chain right there going on. And yeah, I mean, Crowler will basically be guaranteed to lose round 1 against most duelists. So round 2 and 3 is really where it's at. Let's take a look at his opponent. So spoiler alert for GX, and if you guys don't want to hear this, just skip ahead about 10 seconds. Jaden turned evil for a while. It lasted a couple of episodes, and this is his deck. So this is the evil hero deck that the Supreme King plays, hence the alternate arts of these heroes. I really wish they made it alternate art for you. And it's very interesting. It relies heavily on its fusion monsters. The one good main deck monster here is Malicious Edge. You can summon him without a tribute if your opponent has a monster. Oh no, sorry, with 1 tribute instead of 2. If your opponent has a monster on their field, and he can do piercing, so that's really dope. You have Fusion Conscription to help make it easier. You can search for any of the monsters that you need for a fusion summon, so that's really crazy. Only 1 poly and 1 fusion stage to get to it, because mostly you want to use your Dark Fusion. And the benefit of Dark Fusion is not only does this enable you to summon your evil heroes, but Dark Fusion will protect that monster from card effects for the entire turn. And you know, this is a bunch of weak monsters in the main deck, so cards are going to go to the graveyard, so that's what you have Dark Calling for. So you could actually just go back to back and say, hey, you know, these 2 monsters I have could potentially make 2 different fusions, or maybe one of them can fuse with something else that's already in your graveyard. So having both of these 2 in the same hand could be very deadly for the opponent. He also plays the Pot of Greed, the Monster Reborn, and more importantly, the Super Poly. So Super Poly lets you fuse using an opponent's monster, and the problem with that in a way is, okay, well, you obviously can't fuse with any monster in the game, so this is only useful if your opponent are playing like specific monsters. And to that I say that is absolutely not fucking true with this deck, because with the elemental heroes, there are 6 fusion monsters where it's any elemental hero in the game plus any monster of their attribute. And since you are running all 6, yes, you can fuse with any monster in the goddamn game. And yes, there are 2 in this deck. He has another one in the side deck. The Supreme King's Castle is also really problematic. You can actually throw away cards from your extra deck or from your main deck, like evil heroes, I mean. And one of your fusions will get attack equal to its level times 200. Then it also, right, let's say you don't get any of these, or let's say you ran out or something, and you're stuck with this stupid polymerization. I can't make my evil heroes. This lets you summon evil heroes with any polymerization. So yeah, that's really amazing. And since it lets you fuse with anything, you have Parallel World Fusion, which can... Actually, no, that doesn't work that way. In the side deck, really quick, you have 3 copies of Stratos, which can search any hero, which it could be a good hero or an evil hero. It doesn't fucking matter, right? You know, he's a goddamn fence sitter. A Dusted Gold can search for your Dark Fusion, or it's just a level 4 with 2100. So that's really strong. Sinister Necrom can banish himself to summon any evil hero out of your deck. So, hello, free 7-star monster that I didn't have to actually draw or tribute for. For all your different evil hero fusions or whatever the hell, you have Dark Honest, because regular Jaden played Honest, and now that this is a card, why not? Hands down, your strongest card is Malicious Bane, because it can just blow up the entire field, and he can't be destroyed by card effects, and every time he blows stuff up, he gets stronger. So, that's the thing. This negates all trap cards. I don't even have to tell you the rest, like... It just gets stronger from here. This is honestly a disgusting deck, and I look forward to seeing somebody defeat him. Let the duel begin. Alright, round 1 is going to be starting off with Valiant Crowler, and he has an actually really interesting hand here. So, at first glance, right, he has 2 spell cards. He has one that can maybe let him draw, and he has 2 tributes, which is really, really bricky. But the key here is within the other 2 cards that he has. So first he's gonna resolve the Graceful Charity to see what else he can get, and they were absolutely useless, so he's gonna throw 2 cards away. But he's gonna throw away the Ancient Gear statue, and this could let you summon an Ancient Gear Golem for free. So you're probably wondering why the hell he did that, and he's gonna use Cannon's effect. It kills itself just to do 500, which is like, it could just attack directly or something, but I mean, I guess. So now he's gonna use Ancient Gear Workshop to add the Ancient Gear Golem back to his hand instead of the Ancient Gear statue. And the whole, that's it. That's it. He's gonna wait. I guess he doesn't have all the pieces he needs or whatever the hell. So we're just gonna trust that he's planning something. Meanwhile, the Supreme King starts off with the 1 copy of his super broken field spell already, and he has Fusion Conscription. So he revealed, what monster was that? The Evil Hero Wild Cyclone. So automatically he either gets Wild Heart or Avion to his hand, and he picks Avion and he gets the Pot of Greed. So he gets to draw 2 more cards. Since he has no monsters on his field, he can special summon the Infernal Prodigy, and he's actually going to end his turn because he's waiting. Either Crowler's going to brick and not be able to kill this, or he's going to have a monster on. I don't know. There's a lot of ways this is to go right now. It's really interesting for sure. So Crowler, I guess, was waiting for him to get out a monster, so he's going to play the Crazy Summon Gear, and your opponent picks a monster that they control, and you pick a monster in your graveyard, as long as they both have 1500 or less, and you summon all the copies of it, if you have more copies. So Supreme King's gonna get a bunch of 300 attack little fiends, but Crowler's gonna get 3 fucking Ancient Gear statues on his side of the field, and that's monstrous because he has 3 Ancient Gear Golems in his hand, and this isn't a once per turn effect. So he took the worst deck in this whole tournament, and he managed to get 9,000 points of damage on board. And yes, they all do piercing damage. So this is massive damage he's doing against the Supreme King. And suddenly it went from, oh, the Supreme King's obviously gonna win this duel, Crowler has no goddamn chance, to, holy shit, it's 8,000 to 300. There isn't a monster in the deck for round 1 that is as strong as even one of these golems, and even if they were, they can't kill all 3 of them. So what the hell can the Supreme King do? Well, he's gonna play the castle first and foremost, and he's gonna resolve his Dark Fusion card. So here comes the Evil Hero Inferno Wing, and Inferno Wing, if and when she kills a monster, she'll deal damage to the monster's owner equal to its attack or its defense points, depending on which one's higher. And yeah, she could also do piercing, so you can't hide from her in defense. Then he's gonna go ahead and activate Dark Mind, and so Dark Mind here, it gets a different effect depending on how many monsters are in your opponent's graveyard. And since Crowler has at least 4, he was able to search for a hero monster. So looks like he went for Evil Hero Infernal Gainer. And Gainer, by banishing himself for like 2 turns, I think, can let an evil hero attack 2 times. So Supreme King's gonna go ahead and swing in and use the effect of the Supreme King's Castle. So they're gonna throw away the level 8 Malicious Fiend to give her 1600 points. Now, while that is only 700 points of damage, Infernal Wings effect's gonna activate to do another 3000, and she can attack again. Unfortunately, you can only throw away 1 monster at a time. Otherwise, I think that would be game. But yeah, so in a single turn, he managed to do, what is that, 7,400 points of damage. While this like stat buff is gonna go away at the end of this turn, this can be used during either player's turn. So this is Crowler's last turn, and he draws another useless monster. So Ancient Gear Drill will let him throw away that useless monster to get a spell card. And oh, he went for Ancient Gear Tank. That spell card cannot be activated this turn. That sucks. I'll have to double check. I don't remember if he plays a limiter removal in his deck. If he does, he could have just, I don't know, picked that instead. It would have got him 6,000. Maybe it's just in his side deck, but yeah. An amazing round 1 victory to the Supreme King. off to round 2. Round 2, the loser gets to pick who goes first, and it looks like Crowler picked Supreme King to go first so that he does not get that additional draw. Rather unfortunate, because it looks like the Supreme King actually would have really needed that draw this time around. So he's going to use Fusion Conscription to get through his deck a little bit quicker. He reveals the Infernal Sniper, so he gets either another Clayman or a Burstinatrix. Obviously, he picks the Burstinatrix, sets the Clayman, and hopes for the best. Crowler opens up the nuts. He starts off with the Ancient Gear Castle, so he's going to rack up those counters, and even if he doesn't use it for a Tribute Summon, all of his monsters are going to get that additional 300. Then he starts off with his best main deck monster, the Ancient Gear Frame, which will let him throw away a card. He's going to throw away his other level 4 to search for the Ancient Gear Golem, because he already has a statue in his hand. Very, very nice. And his measly 1600 goes up to 19, but it's just not enough to defeat the Clayman with the body that's built to last. So passing it back over to the Supreme King now, he can... he draws another Conscription. You can only use one per turn. So that's terrible. He'll just resolve it anyways to thin his deck a little more. This time he grabs a Sparkman by revealing his Lightning Golem. Since his opponent has a monster on the field though, he can tribute this with only one tribute. So Malicious Edge is here to tear shit up, quite literally, and he's gonna easily get over that, but Unfinished Time Box will banish the Malicious Edge until somebody destroys this trap card. So now the Supreme King is left wide open, and Crowler got an extra draw off of that. So he gets to draw 2 cards essentially, now that it's back to his turn, and he gets to actually just swing in with the Ancient Gear Golem with 33, so since he didn't have to attribute this, and now he's gonna pop off the Ancient Gear Fusion. So he can Fusion Summon from using his deck, and he chose to use the Ancient Gear Golem for his Ancient Gear Megaton Golem. And since he used 3 Ancient Gears, I believe that's 3 different attacks. So that is round 2 to Dr. Crowler. We get a round 3, people. Let's see what happens. Everything is riding on this duel. Can the underdog of this entire tournament take on one of the, you know, highest... I can't speak English, man. Let's just see what the fuck happens. Crowler is actually going to be going first, so he gets the Pot of Greed. So it doesn't matter that you don't draw on turn 1. He gets to draw on turn 1. He gets the Ancient Gear Fusion off early, and he drew the Ancient Gear Fusion as well, so he can probably start off with the Fusion Summon. First, he's going to use his Gear Frame in order to do a quick search, so he's going to throw away the box to search for that trap card I talked about earlier that can double attack points. And he's going to use the Gear Workshop to get back the box, because when it gets added to your hand by a card effect, you can search for an Ancient Gear card. So he's going to grab another level 4, you know, in case Gear Frame doesn't really last too long. And now he's going to activate the Ancient Gear Fusion using box and the rest of his hand for the Megaton Golem. And it was summoned using Ultimate Pound, so it can attack, I believe, 2 times now? Something like that. So he has a very, very powerful board set up. When this dies, it'll get a stronger fusion. When that dies, he'll get Ultimate, or Ancient Gear Golem. The Supreme King has his work cut out for him, for sure. He's going to start off with the Fusion Sage, and seeing that a potential fusion is coming, Dr. Crowler is actually going to get rid of the Ancient Gear Frame, because leaving this on the field not only means that you're going to lose a monster that can get you some searches off later, but it also means that you're allowing the Supreme King the opportunity to guarantee do damage to you. So by removing it now, you're not only securing a 3000 attack monster for your very next turn, but you're forcing the opponent to have only a single monster that they can attack or try to get over whatsoever. So he's going to search the Polymerization, then the Fusion Conscription, revealing the Lightning Golem. He's going to grab the Elemental Hero Sparkman, Terraforming again so he can get his 1 copy of the field spell, Ancient Gold, so that he can get Dark Calling, because it mentions Dark Fusion in its card text. So this is so much going on right here. He's going to actually set up the Supreme King's Castle, and I'm going to assume he's going to use that to try to get over the fusion here, but that's going to be one of the 2 threats. So now he's going to summon Stratos to search for another hero. He's going to search for the Clayman and use Poly, because Supreme King's Castle is here. He can fusion summon with any card that he wants. and the polymerization will rule. It'll actually bring out the elemental hero Gaia. Okay, so I see what he's going for now. So Gaia, when it gets summoned, it can cut one monster in half and gain all the points that that monster lost. So he's gonna go up really, really big, and now the Megaton Golem's at only 1800, while Gaia's at a massive 4000. Dark Calling will banish the Sparkman and the Clayman from the graveyard to summon the Lightning Golem. And so they're gonna go ahead and swing first. So that's the big 2200. Oh, wait. Does Crowler? No, he has the fusion. Why didn't he go off? Leave the owner's control because of a card effect. Okay, so he read that, and instead of blowing it up with Lightning Golem, he found a way to kill it via battle. So there's that. Crowler has nothing to work. Oh, no. Okay, so Crowler has a monster with 4100. So that's something, but I would say the best monster to really attack is the Lightning Golem, because even with the Supreme King's Castle, I don't think 1600 is... Yeah, you're all exactly 100 points stronger, and this isn't enough to take you down. Stratos is basically irrelevant in this battle, so the best one to attack is Lightning Golem here. He's gonna kill it, he's gonna reduce the damage and just kind of shorten... just reduce the damage, that's it. So, what can the Supreme... Oh, wait, okay, so Cross Dimensions boost only lasts one turn. That's game. It doesn't matter what Supreme King gets, that's just game right there. But he's gonna sauce on this man, of course. He's gonna use the Dark Honest to drop his attack points. Holy shit. The disrespect is real with this guy. God damn. The Supreme King has reigned supreme.
Turn your appearance to a disappearance. I fuck with nothing but gangsters, nothing but hustler niggas. Sound off.